year was 1823, and the world was still a vast, untamed place. The mighty empires of Europe had drawn lines across continents, but much of the earth remained a mystery. Few dared to venture into the unknown, but among those adventurers was Jonathan Hale, an archaeologist with an unquenchable thirst for discovery. Hale's family had long been pioneers in archaeology, and he had inherited not only their knowledge, but also their obsession with uncovering the hidden secrets of history. One fateful morning, while rummaging through the dusty shelves of the old library in London, Jonathan came across a peculiar map. It wasn't like any map he had seen before. It was not drawn on the conventional parchment or paper, but on a strange, weathered leather. The ink was faded, and the symbols were archaic, but the most intriguing part of the map was its marked destination, a place long believed to be a myth, a legendary city lost in time, El Dorado. Jonathan had heard the stories, of course, legends of gold and treasures beyond imagination. But over time, the excitement had faded. No one had successfully found the mythical city, and most historians had dismissed it as a mere fantasy. Yet here it was, this ancient map pointing to the heart of the uncharted Amazon rainforest, where no European had ever set foot. The decision was immediate. Jonathan packed his bags and sought out a team of explorers. The journey to the Amazon would be treacherous. The thick, unforgiving jungle, the poisonous creatures, and the unpredictable weather all posed grave risks. But Jonathan was driven by a singular belief that this map was real, and the treasures it promised were worth the peril. Jonathan assembled his team, a diverse group of adventurers and scholars: Thomas, a seasoned navigator; William, an expert in ancient languages; and Maria, a botanist familiar with the flora of South America. They gathered their supplies: compasses, machetes, firearms for protection, and several crates of medical supplies, and set off for the port of Lisbon, from where they would sail to the coast of Brazil. The journey was long, and the further they sailed into the unknown, the more treacherous the waters became. They encountered fierce storms and dangerous creatures, but nothing could deter them from their goal. Their destination loomed ahead, and as they disembarked in the wild jungles of Brazil, they knew their real adventure was just beginning. The Amazon rainforest welcomed them with its dense, almost oppressive foliage. The air was thick with humidity, and the sound of exotic creatures echoed from the trees. The team pushed forward with machetes in hand, hacking through the dense undergrowth. Days turned into weeks as they ventured deeper into the jungle, facing countless dangers. The weather was their first enemy. Torrential rains would flood their camps, forcing them to rebuild shelters. The terrain was rugged, and they encountered wild animals: jaguars, venomous snakes, and swarms of biting insects. But the most dangerous obstacle was the uncertainty. No one knew exactly where they were heading, or if they would ever reach the legendary city. The map had led them this far, but it was cryptic and incomplete. As they trekked deeper, William discovered a clue in the ancient symbols. The map was not just a direction to follow, it was a series of cryptic messages embedded in the landscape itself. The marks on the map seemed to align with natural features in the jungle: twisted trees, rocks shaped like strange creatures, and ancient carvings hidden in the cliffs. It was as though the very earth had been waiting for them, guiding them toward El Dorado. After weeks of grueling travel, the team stumbled upon an ancient stone structure hidden in the heart of the jungle. It was half sunken into the earth, overtaken by vines and moss, but unmistakably a man-made creation. Jonathan's heart raced as he recognized the markings. It was the beginning of something much bigger than a simple temple. The team worked together, clearing the ruins of debris and deciphering more symbols that seemed to correspond to the map. As they ventured deeper into the structure, they encountered more challenges. The temple was designed like a maze, with hidden traps and puzzles meant to protect whatever secrets lay within. But Jonathan and his team were not deterred. With each step, they grew closer to their goal, the mythical city of El Dorado. It took 3 more days to navigate the temple's labyrinth. Finally, they reached the inner sanctum, a grand chamber filled with ancient relics, golden statues, and piles of treasure. But what truly captivated Jonathan was the mural on the wall. It depicted the city of El Dorado, with streets paved in gold and massive temples stretching into the sky. Just as they began to gather the treasures, a voice echoed through the chamber. It was a warning, one Jonathan would never forget. "The treasure is not what you seek," it said. "The true discovery is knowledge, not gold." Startled, Jonathan turned around, but there was no one in sight. It was as though the voice had come from the very walls of the temple. Thomas, William, and Maria stared at him in confusion, but Jonathan felt a deep, unsettling truth behind the message. The city was never meant to be a source of wealth. The ancient civilization that had once thrived here had left behind not just riches, but a powerful knowledge, a secret of the universe, hidden from the world for millennia. With this new understanding, the team decided to leave the gold behind. Instead, they focused on the artifacts, manuscripts, and scrolls that contained the true treasures of El Dorado: ancient wisdom, forgotten knowledge, and insights into the natural world. After months of hardship and discovery, Jonathan and his team returned to civilization. Their journey had changed them. They had not found the gold they had hoped for, but they had found something far more valuable: a deep understanding of history, humanity, and the ancient civilizations that had shaped the world. El Dorado, they realized, was not just a city of gold, but a city of wisdom, a forgotten civilization that had possessed knowledge far beyond its time. The maps they had discovered would go on to revolutionize archaeology, shedding light on lost cultures and civilizations. Jonathan Hale's name became legendary, not for finding gold, but for uncovering the true wealth of knowledge that the world had long forgotten. The real treasure, it turned out, was not material, but the discovery of the unknown and the wisdom that came with it. And thus the story of Jonathan Hale and his team would echo through history, reminding future generations that the greatest discoveries are not always the ones that glitter, but those that challenge the way we see the world.